Alright, ladies and gents, this is a crappy webcam broadcast. Just wanted to make a few notes on what the Mets were doing right now. They added Shaun Marcum, which was like the pitcher that I wanted them to add. Marcum has had basically every year he's been healthy, which is the big caveat. When he's been healthy, he's pitched to about a 3.5 ERA. That's 3 years in the American League East as a Toronto Blue Jay and 3 years in the NL Central as a Brewer. So, if we get a healthy year from him, we can probably write him down for about a 3.5 ERA, and that would be fine. Sure, it's not R.A. Dickey, but it's probably close enough if we can get a little bit of offensive help. And right now, I'm hearing about Michael Bourne. Now, I've said I'm not a huge fan of Michael Bourne, and it's because he's on the wrong side of his peak. He's coming down the valley instead of going up to the top of the mountain. However, if they can get him for cheap, and when I say cheap, I mean in terms of Scott Boras, so like not for $20 million a year, and maybe more for $13 million a year, and if he will do only 1 year, and if Sandy Alderson and the Mets are able to talk baseball into not letting the first draft pick go away, then yeah, sure. I'd take him for a year, I'd take him for 2 years, might even take him for 2 years and an option. Because by then, we might actually have a team that is really going to compete. Next year, we might compete. In 2 years, there's a good chance we'll compete, and maybe in 3 years, we should be right there. But again, I'm not punting next year, and I don't think any Mets fan should either. Because we quote-unquote punted last season, and at the All-Star break, we were the second wild card. Now, if we can stop things from imploding in the second half, if we can be the Mets we were the first half, then we could be a playoff team. We could be a team with playoff contention. And that's where I see us. I would like to find maybe one more bullpen arm, but the best part is there's probably actually a couple of bullpen arms who are still available who can get outs. And that's really all I want. I don't want a big flashy guy, unless of course it's Brian Wilson. I'd like to offer a contract to Brian Wilson if he's healthy, which it didn't look like he was, but if he's healthy, I would love to offer a contract to Brian Wilson with an option for a second year, maybe even an option for a third year kind of deal. Because when we're ready to go, I wouldn't mind having a beard on Sports Illustrated when they're like, "Where did the Mets come from?" And I'll be like, "I knew where the Mets came from. Excuse me, perhaps if you were watching my vlogs or reading my soon-to-be created blog, you'd know, but you don't." Anyway, you stay classy, internet, and I still have a couple of videos to put out. I'm going to do a couple more teams, set up that. I've got the Royals, I've got the Tampa Bay, not the Devil Rays anymore, Cincinnati, and Colorado. I'm going to do a preseason poll for all of those guys. I might do some fantasy work, and hopefully you'll start seeing some of that stuff and some bigger stuff coming Wednesday. So again, you stay classy.